What's going on there, everyone, and welcome back to the video from the Demon Overlord. And today, guys, we're going to be going over King Kong. That's right, this is the NECA Kong that many people have talked about. It's really interesting. I found one of these when I was going through a Walmart one day. Finally got around to putting it in a video, and we're going to review it. I've already had my sword of opening, cut all the little slices on it for all the tape spots so we can check it. A little bit of damage here on the back. That was actually my fault when I put it in my car. I did not set it down carefully. I set it down and then it bounced, rolled off. I was like, oh man, while I was driving. My mistake. Bad me. How dare I? How dare I do that to a collectible? But these tabs, in my opinion, have always been irritating because they always get stuck on stuff and rip. So you give them a little bit. Now, as you can see, this is a full artwork, like a fully decked out box of different pictures. You got different types of faces. For instance, that's Kong's aggressive face. And this over here shows Kong's derpier face. Got the more aggressive Kong in the front, and on the back, we have the more aggressive Kong with the beating chest. And then we have Derpy Kong over here. I think the other one's, yeah, aggressive Kong. So he does come with two sets of hands. He does come with two faces. So great thing is, you flip him this way, you can take a look inside there and see him. You can also see the artwork of Kong in a pose. I believe they actually use the aggressive. Yeah, the aggressive face, I think, is the more preferred face, which I do too. The derpy face Kong makes him reminiscent of the old Kong, like from the old days. So, you know, not bad. The more aggressive face, in my opinion, is more like the Kong of today. More aggressive and ready to roll. So let's get this bad boy open and take a look at him already. Because I've only opened him once. That was to cut all the strings so we don't have all the irritating plastic noise. Because I don't think you guys want to listen to all that. So, pulling him right out. First thing to test. Kong can stand on his own. That's important. Figures that can stand on their own is always important because you need less of those flight stands, which they're not too expensive for a pack, but to get big ones, that takes a little more. There's his two extra hands, extra face. The artwork on the back of his box, it's whatever. Don't really need it. Toss off the side there. Now let's take a look at Kongy Boy here. Kong Boy is pretty cool. He can stand pretty tall if you put his legs a little closer to make him stand up a little bit more straight. Let's see if I can, there we go, get that leg to turn a little better. Talk about his articulational points and all that kind of good stuff. And then eventually we'll get a nice up-close view of him with each face and each set of hands. Now let's compare him to a character such as Zorro here from the Anime Heroes line. I did do a video on this guy if you want to check him out. And as you can see, he is taller than Zorro. Since Zorro here, I think, is a like almost 6-inch figure. I'm not surprised this Kong's bigger. This Kong was compared to NECA Godzillas and stuff like that, as well as the Figure Arts Kongs. And he's a little bit on the tall side. Not a bad thing, but, I mean, you want to get that size variation of correctness between all the Kongs. Does have some lovely scratches on him. I wish they had more detail. Heck, I might be tempted to go in myself with my tiny Psycho brush and give those a little bit of a fleshing with, like, a little lighter red, just so you see him more. Sorry, that derpy face. He's just got that derpy, like, ooh, face. Like, ooh. Just makes you kind of want to laugh at it. Like, I mean, like I said, I know it's like probably a throwback to the old Kongs back in the day. Let's compare him to something else. We'll compare him to something bigger and chunky himself. The Space Marine. And as you can see, a Space Marine and him stand pretty similar. You put Kong a little lower and more of like an actual stance. Let's see if we can do that. Put him up like that, you know, a little bit more like he's about to get aggressive. You can see the Space Marine stands pretty much enough that he can look Kong in the eyes and be ready to fight him. But, I mean, obviously with a gigantic Hellblaster, this fight really wouldn't go in Kong's favor, especially considering the enemy is wearing super strong, I like to call it bullcrapium armor, because it's just, you know, this unbreakable metal. But yeah, you can see he is pretty big. And honestly, I mean, if we compare him to a Figma, next, just grab my Figma here, set him next to Kong, and as you can see, my Figma is a little bit shorter than Kong. But my Figma also is like a little bit squatted. He's not standing at full straightness. But I would probably still put him like the Space Marine, probably like Zorro there. A little bit shorter, but still, you know, I think Kong would be terrified of a blade that big. When the blade is actually bigger than Kong is. From the handle to the end of the tip. Kong might be thinking, where's that going? Ooh. That might be what the derpy face is for, the moment. Now, let's go over his articulation. So his arms will come up to around this high on each side. So his joints are what I call, I mean, it's not really 90 degrees. Hold on, that's, yeah, I think this will be 90. The arms don't really, yeah. So I like to call these 90 degrees because like you're really almost getting a 90-degree angle. It's not exactly 45. It's probably like a 65 or something degree. I'm just rough estimating here. His body up top to his lower body is attached by a swivel. That's why you can rotate him around a little bit like that, which is good for articulation point, and it always makes it a little easier for certain things. The legs and stuff, they're all just your standard mechanical, I call them click-clack joints because they do that creaking, like the little clicking. But that allows his arms to get lovely internal detail. You can get it like to that level. So pretty cool. And if you just rotate his arm's shoulder joint, you can actually put the arm fully up. You want him to go for like the hammer slam type thing that Kong can do, where he brings those big old meat paws down and slams on a monster's face and crushes them into the earth, going full monkey. I was hoping I wasn't going to make that joke, but I knew it was going to happen. Oh well. Now, the feet, on the other hand, they do bend back. They can bend enough back. Like, you see, they get a little bit of a bend. Not much. But, you know, his feet are really important for holding him up. His legs can bend that far. And the front legs can get up to around this far. So you're really getting a pretty good bendability with this guy. He's not too bad. Got some good joint movements. The feet are on, I think, a swivel. The legs are not on a swivel. I think they're on, like, the clicky joints that just rotate. So they're on, like, a ball click. I know. My terms are not technically accurate, but I'm just doing what I like to call them. Call it laziness. We'll say laziness. I'm fine with that. I'm acceptable with it. Now, let's see. Let's see how the head is. This is always something I've noticed a lot of people who review it. They say their Kong's heads are very easy to pop right off and go bye-bye. Well, I'm hoping mine doesn't. Let's see. Okay, as you can see, mine took a little more force to get off there, so that's a good sign. Inside the head, we got what looks to be like a ball joint with a simple another ball for the head, so that's always good. And hey, easy click on too. That was actually pretty good. And fully going up all the way, Kong can look up that high. So you can look towards the ceiling to watch as like a giant bat or a giant pteranodon falls upon him with his more aggressive face, which this one has a lot better. I mean, the teeth on it look very similar. Just like the gums and the cheek lines and the tongue and everything looks so much better on this Kong. And the eyes have more of an aggressive feel. Like, I think the aggressive face, in my opinion, is the one I'd always pose this with. Maybe the derpy face, if, like, say, I had Godzilla shooting an energy blast, I hit the ground in front of him, maybe that derp face, like, oh, what's that? As it's about to roast him or burn his feet or whatever it hits him on. If it hits him in the chest, just a ow. But yeah, this is a really good face. I like the face. Now, this Kong definitely has what I like to call the more gorilla-esque head, where it has the, the dome of the gorilla, that nice little pointage going on in the head there, and his scalp. That's not a bad thing. The ears on this guy on both heads are pretty small, which I always find interesting how Kong has great hearing when he has such tiny ears. I think they'd be a little bit bigger. I always feel like that head is just going to keep rolling away. Well, let's see how the hands are. The hands are usually pretty risky too, so there's a little bit of flex in the wrist. They bend a little bit, but not much. A little bit of force to pull apart, but not bad. Easy to attach. Get the awesome grip hand if you want to go grip style, or if you want to go fist. Whichever one you want to use. So we'll keep one of each of those hands on just to help with the articulations. Let's, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to bend this back. Get him ready for swinging a heavy punch. We'll put like this hand up front. I'm going to aggressive. I feel like it's weird that I'm making Kong do like an anime pose for his up close, but you know what? I'm going to do what I want to do. You know what I mean? Not denying who I am. So there we go. I think that's going to... Ooh, that looks actually pretty cool. Not like the arm turning that way. Okay. I might have actually just found the pose I would pose Kong in. And it's totally inspired by anime, but whatever. Let's get him up to an up close so you can take a nice, lovely 360 view of him. Then I'll change the head so you can see the other head, and we'll do that. As you can see here with this Kongy boy, oh, that actually fixed it. So what it is with these figures, I got to actually get my camera farther away. Easy fix. But as you can see here, Kong has some nice detail going on. I actually like the fur detail. I know a lot of people are like, oh, the fur was so simple, and it's not that great because it was too simple. And I'm like, you know what, right now, as far as I'm really concerned, that fur detail looks not too bad. I mean, it's fur. What were they expecting? He doesn't have a giant silverback. And, his joints can give him some really lovely posing going on here, and he has some nice detail. As you can see in that big mouth of his, that cool, aggressive teeth. And I just realized that you can't... There we go. And yeah, he looks really cool. He looks really aggressive. He looks like he's about to slam you with the big old heavy right hand and punch you down and knock you to the ground, and then just start beating on you until you're dead. That's what gorillas do, man. That's what gorillas do. Well, actually, many apes in general, but anyway. So really cool. Let's switch out his face so you can see what I like to call the derpy face and a little bit of a different pose while we're at it. So here's an example of the awesome kind of posability Kong offers, because here he is in what I like to call the Kong smacked his head look, because he's falling on his butt, he's holding his head, and the derpy face makes it look all that funny once it turns around here. But like I said, as you can see, the fur detail is actually really nice. There is a little bit more different levels of brown on mine. You have darker and lighter spots, which is important. Hold on. There's the derpiness. I just love he's holding his head going like, oh, it hurts. Like, it'd be like if Godzilla slapped him on top of the skull and knocked him on the ground type joke. But yeah, that's Kong, man. King Kong from NECA. Now, I don't know if, NECA probably has the rights to Kong still. I think I heard they might be losing the rights to Godzilla and that stuff, but maybe Legendary is taking a different route. Maybe the Toho their deal with them has ended. I don't know. I know both have done this. Now, I do have like one of the 2014 style Godzilla figures. And compared to the size, like the NECA Godzilla, it's just a bit shorter than this Kong. So this Kong is going to work okay in a fight with like Godzilla, say if you want to set him up. Maybe obviously use the MonsterVerse Godzilla from the New Age, not the Heisei or anything, because they're going to look a little weird since they're not going to have that same type of posability as this guy. Now, they do have posability, don't get me wrong. They have many good posabilities, but to have like a Kong of this level of articulation going up against Godzilla, you want something that has a lot of articulational points so it can get a good pose with this guy. I mean, you could use this guy for the battleship pose if you wanted to build a whole battleship and set them on top and have them doing the slugfest moment, or like they're just staring each other down, whatever. Or you could build a city and have them fighting it out in the city. Now, I like this Kong. He's very simple. What would I want more with him? Well, I want more stuff. I want maybe even more feet, more accessories. Heck, I could love it if he had like a branch accessory, since in the movie he does pick up like branches and stuff. Like in his new Legendary MonsterVerse series, he's been able to pick up like trees and use them as weapons. He's picked up and used them as spears. He's picked up stuff and used it as a weapon. Heck, I would have loved it if this came with his axe, but I think this was supposed to be like an homage to be able to be functional for both new and old age Kong. This guy does kind of fit both criteria, which is pretty good. So in the end, take what you can get. It's a great figure. And now the price. I found this thing for $24.95. Can you beat that with a stick? No, because I'm not paying like the $200 for a figure arts or for the Monster Arts ones. Ain't happening. At least unless there's one I really just couldn't live without. But this guy's really cool. And as you see, he is a lot taller due to his height. He's really cool. I think he would make a great shelf piece for any fan of kaijus or just Kong in general. And I think I definitely recommend grabbing one if you guys can find one out there, man. If you're out there in the store and you see one, whether you're in Walmart, Target, wherever they happen to be, and they're only like 24 bucks, snag them, guys. Because if you're trying to get them from like Amazon or something like that, expect to play the inflated prices, dude. Collectibles, this guy hits that problem with it too. All the NECA stuff hits that problem. You want to get the collectible? You're going to have to pay inflated prices. Like, these inflated prices are just getting ridiculous. But luckily, you can find them in stores still. So anyway, guys, that's all I've got for you today. Make sure you like the video by Kong smashing the like. Monkey smash. And if you want to comment down below, please do so. Any ideas, questions, or concerns. Or if you just got any ideas you want to throw my way. Hey, I'm good for it. I'll answer your questions. I'll listen to your ideas. And, definitely make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, though. That helps out as well. The whole comment, like, and subscribe, guys, helps the channel, helps keep it going, helps it get out there for more people to even see. And make sure you guys share the channel, share the videos like that you enjoy so other people can see them and they can check it out. And maybe they'll also join the channel to like this content and check it out. Anyway, guys, that is all I've got for you today. Stay tuned for more in the future. Make sure you put the bell notification to all so you're not missing out on any videos I throw out there on whatever subject I happen to just talk about for that day. Anyway, guys, have a great one, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.